Let us discuss the question. Baltimore, they made the move. They shot their shot. They get Maxx Crosby from the silver and black wall. The team in Vegas gets some scratcher tickets. So what are the Raiders doing? Seriously, what is the plan here? Like, what are they doing? So I've got mystery box, Mickey D's, and Whirlpool refrigerator. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to move at breakneck speed is what we're going to do. Breakneck. We're going to literally break necks. That's how fast we're going to go. But we start out just inch by inch. So first of all, this is not that difficult to decode. It's not that difficult to decode here. I'll do it for you. The Raiders' strategy right now is the same strategy of the guy at the casino who's got $50, not $51, not $52, $50 left in his pocket to his name. He goes into the table with the roulette wheel. He sits down at the table, and he's got options. You can bet odd, even. You can bet red or black. And this guy says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bet all my money, all the money I have left, I'm going to put it all on green. The sucker bet. The odds of hitting green in the roulette wheel are 2.6% on American roulette. 2.6%. It's a long shot. That's the blueprint for the team that is in the Las Vegas area. They're pulling the rebuild card from the bottom of the deck. And it's the oldest grift in sports. And you can always pull it off. You're selling hope. You sell that tomorrow's going to be better because tomorrow's a mystery box, and fans will always buy the mystery box. They have it's very bizarre. There's this glitch that so many people have. And I had the same glitch when I was younger. And at some point, I think it was after the 7th or 8th consecutive draft, the LA Clippers, who had a top 10 pick, drafted some turd. And then I realized what a hustle this was in all sports, right? In all sports, because the odds of getting it right are about 3%, right? More likely you're going to draft someone who plays like your armpit smells after you've been working out for a couple hours, if you know what I'm saying. All right, so yet you can sell it. You know, it's like, oh, it's hope. And fans always buy the mystery box, the false hope. Don't worry, we've got extra picks. We got extra picks. Please, means nothing. This is the same franchise. I remember that we had the same exact thing, and it wasn't that long ago. Within the last decade, the Raiders had 2 first-round picks, and y'all told me, oh, my God, the Raiders are set. Oh, man, it's going to be so good for the Raiders. So they drafted Henry Ruggs and Damon Arnett. That was the double feature of disaster for the Raiders. Now, Ruggs is currently in jail in Nevada. He was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. He killed a woman, drunk driving, and her dog, they burned up in a crash on the streets of Las Vegas. Arnett was arrested after his time with the Raiders on gun and meth charges. Hello. But those were the Raiders' first-round draft picks. Yes. And I said, well, Ben, that was a different regime. It's different now. Okay. What exactly has Tom Brady done as the de facto GM of the Raiders to give you any level of confidence? He's running the show, right? He's running the show. He hired his college buddy as a sock puppet, and you know, he's on the marionette there playing the puppets and this puppet show and all that. So Tom Brady's in charge. And if you look at this, it's a different name, but it's the same circus. And they might as well just play their games in the mezzanine there at Circus Circus. It's the new ringmaster. Oh, he got 7 Super Bowl rings. Okay, yeah. Also signed off on Geno Smith, 2 wins for $58 million. Pete Carroll brought him in, fired after 1 season. And El Stinko. You're messing with the football guys. Now, secondly, on the Baltimore side, the question, and I got to bring this up because I saw some people, oh, my God, the Ravens, what are they doing? They traded these draft picks. You can't do that. You're messing with the football gods. Question, did the Ravens get fleeced because they gave up multiple draft picks, or are they the ones doing the fleecing and getting Maxx Crosby? So the very premise, I'm offended by it, did Baltimore get fleeced? Hell no. No, stop it. The Ravens are the ones in this chapter of the book that did the fleecing. This is F them picks. It's, we're like McDonald's on this one. I'm loving it. Mickey D's, I'm loving it, right? The Raiders traded a BMW with relative low mileage for a couple of tickets that you might win the lottery on. Maxx Crosby, not just some little nice piece. No. This guy is a supernova on defense. Right? Get you double-figure sacks, bunch of tackles for loss. He'll play as much as his body will allow. He'll run his body into the ground. He's an Iron Man. And just what the team needed here, the Ravens defense had been leaking oil. They finished 18th in points allowed, which is amazing considering how they started, 24th in yardage. And that is not your daddy's classic Baltimore Ravens football. The team's been around for a generation, and they've always had pretty good defensive teams. That is more like the Bengals or the Jets. So Maxx Crosby fixes that overnight. You now have a center of the wagon wheel, and that's Maxx Crosby. You drop him in that defense, and suddenly everyone gets a little bit better. Quarterbacks are hearing footsteps, and it's like the haunted mansion or something like that. And again, for the Raiders, it's the whammy. Right? We've been saying this and yelling from the bully pulpit here that rebuilds are like diet plans. Everyone loves to announce their diet plan, and nobody finishes them. Nobody finishes them. It's like, by the way, I'm going on it's like you get on the stage in the middle of town square. I'm going on a diet. It's like, okay. You don't need to announce it. It's like I was able to lose a lot of weight years ago, and I went on a diet, but I didn't tell anyone I was going on a diet. I just did it, and that's it. And that's how you're supposed to do things. But the Raiders are like, oh, this is going to be great, and all the draft nerds are all horny because of these picks, and the rebuild and all that. The Raiders tanked this past year. It's embarrassing. Should never do that. Never do that. They did it. They did it for a guy who's got fourth-round ability. The quarterback Mendoza from Indiana. They tanked for a guy that's a fourth-round talent, and they're going to have to take him because they need a quarterback, and that's how that's going to go. And they gave up, in this one, they gave up a proven elite game wrecker in his prime for the opportunity to kiss some frogs. So that means for Baltimore, winner, crab cake dinner for the Ravens. All right, now, final thought. So after trading Maxx Crosby, Las Vegas, I saw this as well. This really got me worked up into a lather. So Las Vegas is slated to have $120 million in salary cap space. They are secretariat in terms of salary cap space here, most in the NFL. In fact, they are like $25 million ahead of any other team in terms of spending capital. They have more money to spend. They can buy every free agent they want, whether they've got brains and brawn or none of the above, and whether they're built like a tank or a bicycle. They can get them all. So that's fine, but is that something to celebrate? That's a good jumping off point. So the question, why are the Raiders, and I don't know so much the Raiders, the people that are around the Raiders, celebrating $120 million in cap space? So my theory on this one, the fanboys get all tingly over this kind of stuff, and I just roll my eyes. You never, ever want to be the team with the $120 million in cap space. All roads lead to heartache. This is not some kind of bold strategy cotton. It's not. This is poverty disguised in planning. Your franchise cornerstone asked out. The man that was born to be a Raider, right out of central casting in Hollywood. Hooray for Hollywood. And the Raiders F that up because of Tom Brady's buddy, Alex Guerrero. They screwed up the relationship with Maxx Crosby. And the guy born to be a Raider, who by all accounts loved being a Raider, asked out and you granted his wish. You said, okay. And now your fan base has this. It's very bizarre. There's applauding a bank account instead of a roster. Like, I just don't understand. Maybe you can explain it to me. I don't get it. Cap space is the sports equivalent of an empty Whirlpool refrigerator. You're starving, you're thirsty, you want food, you have nothing in your Whirlpool refrigerator, and you say, well, look how much room I have for groceries. Oh, by the way, you have all that room. You have nothing in there right now. Whoop-dee-damn-do. Whoop-dee-damn-do. Free agency is the NFL's version of the scratch and dent aisle. 99% of great players never get to free agency. They don't. They're tagged, they're extended, they're locked away like family heirlooms. That is 99%. The players that get to free agency are usually older players, injured players, players that have been inconsistent, players that have not been able to live up to their talent level. They were high draft picks, players that maybe had one good year and haven't been proven to do it over and over again. Those are the players that are available. Those are the players that you're trying to get with your $120 million. And I keep going back to the fact that the Raiders are selling a jumbo-sized bag of hope. Pure, unadulterated, false hope. And I'm sure the Raiders are going to fix everything that is wrong with their team, hot diggity dog, in free agency. Because that's how this always works. Everyone that's got a lot of room, they do it. And it's the classic NFL spin. We're not bad. No. We're very flexible. We've got draft picks and we have salary cap space. The reason you have not one single player on that team worth the price of admission on the Raiders. They all blow. All of them. They all suck. Okay? And that the one guy that was established as the end-all be-all, you screwed that up and he wanted out. And that's on you. That's on you. That's the Raiders. That's the new Raiders right there. It's embarrassing.